Hi, I'm Jennifer Copeland, Pet Membership Director for the ALAA, and we are very excited about the relaunch of our pet membership. As you know, we were looking to give pet membership a new identity or a brand. And through our naming contest, what we decided on was Pet Pals, Preserving Australian Labradoodles. And thank you to Rochelle Woods for participating in the contest and for hitting the nail on the head with the name. We also created the badge. Our creative director, Carolyn Albright, created a clean and simple badge that is also complementary to our current branding. This presentation will go through the benefits of pet membership participation and how the changes are going to affect you, the breeder community, what the changes are for you, what the benefits will be for your puppy buyers as pet members, and go through a little bit on how you can help. I think prior to being on the board, it wasn't completely clear to me the importance of recruiting people into pet membership. So I want to share some of the reasons that I think are very important in doing so. First is advertising. By bringing them in as pet members and having us work with them and help support them, that's great advertising for you and for the ALAA. And while they're in the Pet Pals membership, some of the changes we're making is going to be about promoting pride of ownership of having the registered Australian Labradoodle. And keep in mind that when they're bragging about their dog, they're bragging about you, their breeder. Also allies. So pet members and growing pet membership will allow them to be part of our army against the animal rights groups. And in the current legislative climate where dog breeding seems to be attacked throughout the country, this is going to be very important. So we'll grow our community by promoting and promoting and protecting the Australian Labradoodle. And this should strengthen our voice and that of the Australian Labradoodle breed. And resource, which will actually go in both directions. Our Pet Pals program will be a puppy buyer resource for reliable information versus some of those less reputable sites on Facebook. And by growing the pet membership, this will help provide the large sample size needed for health surveys or other surveys so that we can stay in touch with our dogs over time. And of course, the Pet Pals membership fees are a source of revenue to strengthen the ALAA and serving you with education and resources for protecting the breed. If we take a look at how we've done over time, I asked Butch to pull up some numbers for me. And since we've began collecting the data, we've registered about 71,000 puppies, but we've only captured about 4,874 pet members, which equates to about 6.4%. So the good news is we have no place to go but up. When we thought about why the numbers were so low, one, I think it was that maybe there's others that didn't understand the importance of it, kind of in the position I was in. So hopefully some of the things I just shared with you will help. Also, I felt it was cumbersome. Waiting for certificates, mailing them out, needing transfer numbers, but wanting to protect our pedigrees. So we have redesigned the program with all of this in mind. So here's how the changes will affect our breeder community. Less hassle for you. No more transfer numbers are going to be needed. And we've also created downloadable go-home resources for you to be able to provide to your puppy buyers that are going to have the Pet Pals invitation right on it. But we are very sensitive to the fact that you want to protect your pedigrees. So they will be. The Pet Pals membership is not going to provide the pedigree. So that's an important piece of this. But instead, they'll get a membership certificate so that they'll know that they're a part of the organization, but there's going to be a lot of other great benefits for them. Now, for those that do want pedigrees, they're still going to be available. They'll just be purchased separately, and we'll talk more about that. The greatest piece of this is that now we can capture them right away when they're taking puppies home, or even possibly beforehand if you provide their microchip number. This is when we have the most captivated audience and the best time to market it. So here's the bottom line on those changes. No more transfer numbers. They're not automatically going to receive the pedigree with the membership, so they don't need transfer numbers. No more puppy registration certificates. We don't have to wait for them. We don't have to mail them out. And the added benefit to that is that the ALAA reduces labor costs in processing them. Now, as for pedigrees, we have great news in the fact that we have created a new limited pedigree, which is for purchase only. This pedigree will delineate it from the breeding dog's pedigrees to further protect your pedigree. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. And for those that are on a spay and neuter contract, you will still have full control over the release of that pedigree. So by having them wait a period of time before applying for it helps to have some of that time pass to have the spay and neuter done. But when they apply to get a pedigree, you will receive an email. So you'll still have complete control. You'll receive a simple email. No transfer number is going to be needed. And you will be able to check your documentation on spay and neuter and choose to approve or not to approve the release of the pedigree. And then again, we've created new, easy to use, downloadable invitation material so that recruiting new members into the PALS program is going to be easy. So the new limited pedigree, Carolyn Albright, our creative director, also created this new handsome design, which differentiates it from the breeder's pedigree to avoid pedigree theft. It's going to be a 3-generation pedigree. And when your puppy buyer chooses to purchase this, they'll receive a quality print on cardstock with a seal. The price is going to be $45 for those that have not joined the Pet Pals program, and $20 for those that are members to encourage membership. This too will be an additional resource or source of revenue to support our programs. Here's a peek at the Go Home resources that we've created. So there's a few different things on schedule, potty training, socialization, which will be side by side right with the Pet Pals information. It's one-sided for an easy print, or it can be sent electronically, or we have one that is without the resource if you have your own, but it still provides all the information they need to join the Pet Pals program. So what are they going to get when they join Pet Pals? Well, they'll get a nice welcome packet with a welcome letter. They will then get a membership certificate instead of the pedigree that they used to get. We're going to provide them with product discount coupons. They'll still get the 1-year whole dog journal, and some fun training tips for their dog. But here's what we're very excited about is going to be the online community. We have a private Facebook group, and we also have TradeWing, which is a private social media for non-Facebook users. We are looking to build a community of Australian Labradoodle lovers that it's going to be all about their dog. We're going to build this community with organic discussions, a forum for questions, photo sharing, resources, lots of education. And it's going to be a reputable source of information for them so that they are not searching for the information they need on some of the Facebook pages that are less reputable. It's going to be very education focused. We are looking to have quarterly webinars that are going to be promoting responsible dog ownership. And in time, we hope to expand it into events with regional doodle romps and maybe even conferences. In regards to the online community, we do have rules for that community. So that's a screenshot. It's the typical be welcoming, respectful, and considerate. But one of the important rules we have out of respect for you is that we will not tolerate any breeder bashing. So if anybody has a complaint about their breeder, they will be encouraged to contact a board member after they have contacted you directly. We will definitely encourage that they work that through with you. If they're not satisfied with that, they can come to a board member, but they absolutely cannot air their complaints on the online communities. These communities are going to be breeder free. We're not going to allow you, the breeders, on there so that it's private for them to avoid any conflict of interest. We want to protect your puppy buyers from being approached from any other breeders. We are also sensitive to the fact that you make your own food recommendations oftentimes. So there will be no brands that will be suggested in these online communities. There may be general nutrition information, education on nutrition, but we will not have brand-specific recommendations. Another fun way that we will be supporting them with education will be through infographics. And here's a couple of examples of that. And it might be some quick training tips, nutrition tips, grooming tips, but this is something that we have in the works and will be very helpful. And the timeline is that this week, right now, any of the litters that are registered this week will get their puppy certificates. But with that, you're going to get the new Pet Pals invitations that do not specify that they will be receiving a pedigree with their membership. Pedigrees will be provided to those pet members if a transfer number is given. So if it's important that they have a pedigree, you can give them the transfer number that they will get up until the end of this month. If you want to encourage your puppy buyers to join and you do not want them to have pedigrees, they can still join. Don't give them the transfer number and they can join right away. So right around the corner, June 1st is our launch. We're going to go live with the new application on the ALA website for puppy buyers to join the Pet Pals program. Transfer numbers will no longer be needed to join, and the puppy registration certificates will no longer be provided after that date. Within the first week of June, we will be sure to get the information out to you with the Pet Pals invitations so that you can download them either to print to go in Go Home folders or to send out electronically, as they do actually have a link to go directly to the application. We also have created a couple of social media graphics for you that you can share on any private Facebook pages you have for your puppy buyer families. Please go ahead and encourage all of your past puppy buyers to join Pet Pals. It's going to be a great resource and full of information and fun. So it's not just for brand new puppy buyers, but for anybody who's ever purchased a dog from an ALAA breeder. So we're very excited about what we're going to embark on for our puppy buyers, but it's going to be a lot of work and we are going to need some help to make it happen. We're looking to create a few teams. And the reason we're doing this is to keep it at a minimal amount of work per person. So there will be a couple of vendor relationships teams whereby you'll help identify good vendors, sponsors, help contact them, but you only have to work a few hours a month. We'll do this over the next number of months. We'll also have a webinar and events teams. So we will identify subject matter experts to provide great webinars and try and get them booked. And we'll also eventually work on events and doing a little research in providing great events. So we hope you are very excited about the changes that are coming up. We thank you for participating in this presentation. Please let us know if you have any questions, if you have any input, and certainly if you want to help out on a team. My email address is here on the previous slide, jcopeland@alaa-labradoodles.com if you would like to volunteer or have any other information you want to share. Thank you very much.